Yes, I am Clyde Dickerson, native Clarksvillian. I graduated in the class of 1942 from Burt High School, and we had in our class. I don't remember exactly how many was in my class, but I'm 82 years old, so my remembrance and recollection comes and goes. Right now, it's going. So, so what I'm most sure is that our valedictorian was, I think, was Sarah Shaw, and salutatorian was a lady by the name of Mildred Bowen, who lives in Chicago now. I understand Sarah Shaw is now Sarah Claude. That's what I understand. But they were the two top class graduates of my class. We had teachers. Our homeroom at that, as a senior, was Miss Hattie Walker Collins, who was deceased quite some time, and she used to have a fellow in our class by the name of Douglas Quarles. I remember well, Douglas used to come to class. Douglas never had books, but believe you me, he was about the smartest person in our class, never had a book. He was so good, Miss Collins would let him teach the class. That he was a genius. Until he went into the Army, and we all graduated. He's not on the picture of our folder of our class, but because he didn't march with us, but he was in class with us. Then we had a manual training teacher. His name was Mac Young. Of course, we all had to call him Mr. Young, and Professor Young. So he was our manual training teacher, and I remember I had to make a bookcase, and the problem I had was gluing the little parts together, all of these things. Now, I guess by now they have stopped even making that kind of glue. But it was quite an adventure there. It was very enjoyable. We had a beautiful class. 90, I would say at least 75% of my class is deceased. But the few that's here, I only can think of about 3 or 4 that's living here in Clarksville now, if that many. But it was, like I said, it was a very beautiful and enjoyable time. At Burt High School, we had one little gym. Yeah, I can't show you this room, but the gym wasn't too much larger than this room. But you could just pitch the basketball from one end to the other. But we'd always have what they would call it, I can't call it a name, but we'd get together after basketball games and they'd play music and dance, and we just mix with the visiting teams, whether we won the game or not.
Is that right?
We would, yes. So it was very enjoyable. And Professor Allison was the principal of our school at that particular time, H.L. Allison. We had, as kids, we had nickname for him, but we couldn't call him that. But we were, behind the back, we called him Boxhead. So, but he was a very, very good teacher as well as principal. If you did anything wrong and you had to get a strapping, he would ask you which hand you wanted it in and how many licks you would want. But that last lick you carried home with you. I mean, it was terrible, but it was all very, very enjoyable. The strap, yes, indeed. They'd send you, say, you get up and go to the office. You go to the office and the teacher write out a note, and you carry that note and give it to the principal. And he would tell you to sit down over there until he got time to give you your strapping. And then he'd say, well, buddy, he'd call you buddy. Well, buddy, don't seem like you want to act right here. So then he would say, well, I might have to give you something to try to help you to remember what you should do here. Now, how many licks you want and what hand do you want them in? And he would give them to you. He'd stand there and he had this, look like a barber strap. and where they would sharpen the razors, and he would sit there and count them as he give them to you. One, and you better not snap your hand back. Keep it right there. Don't make it miss. That was another lick. So you hold your hand there and get it over with. And if you say, well, one, you had to get more than one. You couldn't get one lick. But that last lick is, well, buddy, this is your last one. And whack, boy, would he tear your hand up. You would always think before you did whatever it was he was whipping you for, before you did it again.